Hare Krishna, thanks for joining. As we are stepping into the seventh chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, we already covered 19 sloka from seventh chapter. So let us try to revise what been covered till now. So first six chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we have seen the Karma Yoga section of it, correct? Everyone understand like the Karma Yoga section of it been covered in the first six chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is like, okay, the divine conversation happened between Krishna and Arjuna. So in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and it lasted for 45 minutes, and it is like around 18 chapter. That 18 chapter been uh, split into like three categories. One is first six, middle six, and last six chapter. In that first six chapters, predominantly talking about the Karma Yoga section of it. The middle six chapter is predominantly talking the Bhakti Yoga section of it, and the last six chapter talking mainly the Jnana Yoga section of it. Okay, so Krishna says very important things like in the middle six chapter, which is what like starting from chapter 7. So in the chapter till now, like Krishna and Arjuna speaking, the conversation is going on, but when he about to start the Bhakti Yoga section, he's saying, okay, starting with like a Takshrunu, correct? He's saying, please attentively hear, because Bhakti Yoga is very, very important to hear attentively, because the 9 devotional service, it starts from Shravanam. Shravanam is so important so that it gives us the change required like to do the devotional service. So everything starts with like a Shravanam. If you see who the Parikshit Maharaj, like he was able to attain the lotus feet of the Lord, in spite of like he knows, okay, in 7 days he will be bitten by a snake. Okay, but he was not worried, but he wanted to dedicate that 7 days attentively like to hear about the glories of the Lord. If you see Prahlad Maharaj, correct? He was coming from a demoniac family, but since he was able to get the mercy of Narada Muni when he was in the womb of Kayatu, he was able to hear the glories of the Lord, glories of Bhagavatam, like when he was in the womb of the Lord, womb of the mother. So at that time, like he started the whole Shravanam, so that in spite of like he being born in a demoniac family, he was able to execute the devotional service. So these are the lot of like exemplary examples which we can take it in our life. So Shravanam is such an important aspect like in the devotional service. The whole Shravanam will changes the mood of a devotee. Like, okay, he can it can turn non-devotee into a devotee like just within a moment. So that has to be understood. So we also need to hear this attentively. So what it says first, 3 slokas talking about like a first this what is the
So,
what is the 7th chapter name? It is knowledge of the absolute. Okay, so first, if we want to love any person, correct, first we need to understand who is that person, and we need to understand about like his glories. Then only we can love that person, correct? For example, how much respect we will give it to Indian Prime Minister like a Mr. Modi, and to a nearby neighbor like a who doesn't have that much popularity, doesn't have that much fame. We will not give the same fame or same respect like to both of them, correct? Because we know like who is Modi, and what he has done like for the Indian citizens, etc., etc. So we need to know about someone like, okay, if we want to love that person, we all know like, okay, we are coming from Krishna and we want to love Krishna, we want to show the devotion service to Krishna, correct? For that, we need to understand who is Krishna. That is very, 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 very important. It may be a very simple thing, but many a times we will think, okay, oh, I know about Krishna, like a Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead. But what are the things like a Krishna does? That has to be understood. So that is what Krishna gradually saying it from the 7th chapter. First, you understand about me, knowledge of the absolute. Can anyone say like what is the absolute means?
Absolute means everything in the world belongs to him.
Yeah, okay, that is correct, Prabhu. Like but the real meaning of the absolute, like something else which we have discussed. Let's see who says.
He's everywhere and in everything, and everything is in him.
Imaji, like okay, fine.
Prabhu,
That
also
is
there is
correct.
no difference between Krishna. There is no difference between Krishna and his name, his weapon, his pastimes. There is no change in the value of
Very
him.
good, Prabhu. Yeah, correct. That is important thing. Like whatever Pratish Prabhu and Mamta Madhya said is correct. But on top of it, what is the real meaning of absolute means? There is no difference between his name, form, paraphernalia, and his activities, his pastime. Just some many a times, like we will think, okay, I am going to go to the temple and pray to the Lord. Then only like I will get the mercy of the Lord. That is not always correct. You can just sit in the home, just sit in your place and just call Krishna's glorious name, like Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If you call like this, there is no difference between you going and visiting the Lord in the temple or like seeing Lord face to face. Both are similar. That is what this absolute means. Another meaning of absolute means, for example, I am very thirsty. Okay, if I call water, will my thirst quenches? Like will it be quenched? No, correct. I need to take the effort to drink the water, to take a cup, glass, and drink the water. Correct. But if we call Krishna and we are just like seeing Lord face to face, both are similar. That is what absolute. There is no difference between his name, form, paraphernalia, like his pastimes. That is what Krishna multiple times, like I mentioned, he says like a janma karma chame divyam evam yo vetti tattvadaha tvaktva deham punarjanma naitima metiso arjuna. There is no difference like a janma karma, one who simply meditates upon Lord's name, his pastime, like his activities in Vrindavan, his pastimes in Vrindavan. If you just meditate, it is equivalent to like a seeing Lord face to face. That is how like a Krishna given. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came as a Maha like in this Kali Yuga to establish the Yuga Dharma, he mentioned like in the Sistashtakam, correct? Namna Makari Baguja Nija Sarva Sakti Tatra Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaga Eda Trishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durudaivam Idrisham Ihajani Nanuraga. So he says, Namna Makari Baguja. So, Krishna, you have invested your energy into multiple names like Rama, Krishna, Shishtastakam. So, if you see the second stanza, he says, Namna Makari Baguja Nija Sarvasaktis. Okay. Namna Makari Baguja Nija Sarvasaktis, Tatra Pita Niyamita Smaranena Kalga, Yeda Trishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durudaiva Midrisham Iha Jani Nanuragha. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings. And thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energy. It is not a normal energy. Lord Himself, like a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Himself saying, you have invested all your transcendental energy in these transcendental names. It is not normal name. If we are calling Krishna, it is we don't know like how much punya we have done, how much sukruti we got. Like so, that is the glories of like chanting the holy name. It is not easy. It is not simple to just call the holy name of the Lord. We are all very very fortunate to call out to be in this association of Krishna consciousness, plus to chant the holy name of the Lord. But there are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. There is no fast and hard rules like to chant the name. Oh my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us easily approach you by your holy names. How easy, like, okay, to chant the holy name of the Lord. But many a times, like, when we don't know the value of the things, like, when we have it. When we don't have it, like, we know the value of the things. That is how, like, easily available Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we can chant, but we are refusing to chant. We say, okay, I have many other things to take care. Let me do the chanting when I get like a free time. You never get the free time, correct? Because in this Kali Yuga, like we always get distracted by many things, many mundane things. So we have to dedicate our time to do the chanting, to hear the glories of the holy name, to hear about the pastimes of the Lord, to study Bhagavad Gita, to study Bhagavatam. That is a simple thing like which Krishna asking. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. Who is saying the Yuga Dharma? Who came us like to establish the Yuga Dharma? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself saying, I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. Then what to speak of us? We have to really like give so much attention to the holy name, to the chanting, to do the devotional service. We have a number of other things like a family related things, work related things, like all those things are there. But take out the time to attend the classes, like to read the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, to chant the holy name. Then Krishna says, okay, this boy or like this girl or like this man or woman taking time to do the devotion service, I am so happy. And Krishna will hug us, like will give us so much other opportunity to do more devotion service. That is what happens like in the Gopakumara's story, correct? Pastime. When Gopakumara, like going one by one, he was searching like the absolute form of the Lord, the supreme personality of God. He is going to like a first Shiva Loka, like he is Shiva says, I am not the personality of Godhead. Like you have to go to the higher planet. Then he is going to like a Brahma Loka, like then. Janaloka, Tapaloka, like likewise, he is traversing everything. He's reaching Vaikunta. Like Vaikunta also, Lord says, no, I am not the supreme personality of Godhead. Like you go to the Goloka. So when he reaches Goloka, Krishna and Gopakumara, Krishna hugs Gopakumara, and he asks one thing. Like both of them are getting into ecstasy, and he asks one thing: why it taken this much time to reach me? Krishna asks like Gopakumara. So that is the same thing Krishna will ask every one of us. So let us make best use of the time to do more devotion service, so that like we get the mercy of the Lord to do more devotion service. Hare Krishna. So Shravanam is such an important thing. So please, like, let us hear more and do the devotional service. So that is what Krishna says, like in the first three slokas, where we need to know Krishna in full by hearing about him. Okay, then Krishna, knowing Krishna as a source of both material and spiritual energies. We have seen like, okay, the phenomenal and numinous knowledge, correct? The spiritual and material energies, Krishna is there. And the three modes are controlled by Krishna: the mode of ignorance, mode of passion, mode of goodness, like all are being controlled by Krishna, but Krishna is not being controlled by them. Krishna is controlling them. Then 7.15 to 19, the impious lack knowledge, like can never surrender. Who are the four guys like who will surrender? Who four will not surrender? Like that is what we have seen. Correct. We covered like till 7.19. I just want to refer one slide. So this is what like a Tashunu he say like here about Krishna. Then we have seen like the 9 pros of devotional service as I mentioned. The Shravanam is important. First, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Shakyam Atma Nivedanam. Correct. Then we seen the numinous and the phenomenal knowledge, Jnanam and Vijnanam. Then Krishna is like a Bhumira Panala Vayu Kamano Buddhi Revacha. So he is like all the Panchabhuta, then mind, intelligence, and ego. That is where he was present. And this is important slide to understand, correct? This we have seen. The Supreme Lord has different energies, which is like the Parasakti, which is spiritual, and the material energies Aparasakti, like then material world is called as like a Bahiranga Sakti, external energy of the Lord, which is inferior. Superior is like a spiritual energy, which is again like into two things. One is Antaranga Shakti, which is internal potency of the Lord. Then the Tatasa Sakti, which is marginal, where like all the Jiva and the soul comes. When Jiva is connecting with the soul, he will go to the superior world. And Jiva is associated with the body, then he will go to the material world. So in that Antaranga also, we have like a Sat Chit Ananda, which is Sandhini, Samvit, and Hladini. So the Hladini is the one like which is the representation of Srimati Radharani. So Srimati Radharani is nothing but the Antaranga Shakti of the Lord. In that she is the pleasure potency. Okay, Sat means like a eternal. Chit means like okay the knowledge. Ananda means like the pleasure potency, which is none other than the representation of Srimati Radharani. So tomorrow is the Radhastami celebration. Like let us remember the internal potency of Sri Krishna, who is none other than Srimati Radharani. Like because Radharani always think about Krishna. If anyone says, I can serve Krishna in a better manner, then she gives the way to that particular devotee and she says, please serve Krishna so that Krishna will be happy. If Krishna can be happy, I can do anything and everything. That is the mood of Srimati Radharani. Her only goal of the life is to remember the Lord, to make Krishna happy. How many times we have done it in our life? Okay, to make Krishna happy. So how we can make Krishna happy? Can anyone say? What are the various ways like to make Krishna happy?
Prabhu, first of all, obviously, we have to devote ourselves to Radharani and request her to able to give our blessing that we can pray for Lord Krishna.
Very good, Prabhu.
Otherwise, as we have seen earlier, that the about listening about Krishna, about reading about Krishna, sadhu sangat, uh, uh, um, bhajan and kirtan, all these are different ways of uh, trying to devote ourselves to Lord Krishna.
Okay, fine. Okay. Very good. Then?
Prabhu, when we do the service of Krishna and mainly his devotees, then Krishna becomes more happy when we serve to his devotees.
Very
Seva of
good. Okay.
devotees.
Dasa Dasanuda. Yeah, correct. Yeah. If someone says, okay, I am Krishna's devotee, Krishna will be pleased. Okay. If someone says, I am devotee of Krishna, then Krishna will be more pleased. That is the reason, like the service attitude is more in our Krishna consciousness. We all are dasa who are going to serve the devotee of like the Lord. Very good, Prabhu. Then the important thing is like what is a Yuga Dharma? Chanting the holy name of the Lord. When Lord himself came as a devotee form, which is none other than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to establish how to do the devotion service, how to perform the chanting, how to do the chanting, how to love the devotee, like how to perform the devotion service. He came himself and exhibited that. So if someone want to please Krishna, please hear uh, Krishna's holy name attentively, as well as like remember the pastimes, as well as like a chant his holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If you are chanting one time, we don't know like how much sukruti we got. Like we got so much of balance added into our eternal bank account, which we can carry along with our soul. It is unlike our bank balance or the dirham or the rupees, where after we leave this world, after we die, we can never carry not even a single dirham or single rupee. But whatever we do in devotion service, it is getting deposited in our eternal bank account, which will be carry forward along with our soul. If we die, when I take like a birth as a next janma, I have to start my bank balance as zero, from zero, correct? I may have like a millions of dirhams in this life, but when I start my next life, I have to start from zero. But the eternal bank balance in the spiritual world, okay, that will be carried forward. If I have done like a 2% of the devotion service, that is permanently deposited. When I take my next life, I will start from 2, not 0. That is the beauty of the devotion service. So we have to perform the devotion service in that manner. So that is what important. So we need to make Krishna happy. We need to pray for the mercy of Srimati Radharani to get the mercy of Krishna. Because if Srimati Radharani recommends anyone to Krishna, Krishna never rejects them. There is a reason, like in Vrindavan, even today, more than Krishna, like a Radharani will be loved, correct? They all say like a Radhe Radhe, Radhe Radhe. So Radharani is so important in getting the mercy of Krishna. Okay, we all will pray also to Srimati Radharani to get the mercy of Krishna. So we have seen till 19. So these are the 4 people who will not surrender to Krishna. Who will not surrender to Krishna, lowest of mankind, envious towards like a god or atheistic demon, knowledge stolen by illusion energy, and grossly foolish like hardworking asses, like a beast of burden, mudas, naradamas, like a ashuram bhava masritaka, maya pakrita jnana. So who are the 4 people who will surrender to Krishna? That we have seen here. Artho, Arthati, Jignashu, like these 4 people will surrender to Krishna. The distrust, the desire, the inquisitive, and the desire of wealth, the distrust, jnani, the inquisitiveness, who's inquisitive to know about the Lord, and the desire of wealth. These 4 people will surrender to Krishna. So this is what we have seen. Then all devotees are magnanimous, but who is situated in knowledge of Krishna is the best. Okay. So Krishna doesn't discriminate, he's a devotee or non-devotee. But how the differentiation will come, this we have seen. In a classroom, the teacher teaches to all the students in a similar manner. But one who takes effort to learn more, teacher gives extra effort to teach him more. That is what the outsider, they may see, Krishna is partial to his devotee. No. One who is showing the interest, Krishna is giving them more knowledge. That's all. Okay. Krishna doesn't show any partiality to anyone. Otherwise, why he is giving the water, the sun, the heat, and the light to even the atheist also? He doesn't discriminate. Okay, I will give the light and water only to the devotees. To non-devotees, I will not give. Or if this guy doesn't remember me, so I will not give. No, Krishna doesn't discriminate. Krishna always think one or the other day, this human being or this soul will think about me, will learn about me, will remember me. That is what Krishna giving chance after chance, life after life to every one of us. But we ignore like many a times, life after life, like we say, Krishna, more than you, like I have important things to take care about mundane things. Like that is how we are taking punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, like a birth after birth, like a death after death. Here again, we are getting into the birth, death, old age, and disease. Okay, then the 19th sloka which we have seen, bhakti, devotional service is very, very rare. This what I am saying, like again and again, we are all very fortunate to get into bhakti, at least some form of bhakti, some mode of bhakti, like some element of bhakti is in us. Otherwise, there is no, it is not possible to just get up early in the morning on a Saturday and attend these classes. Like a bhakti is in us. We have to nurture that bhakti. We have to preserve that bhakti. We have to grow that bhakti. That is what like we have to aim for it. We have to pray to Krishna because bhakti is not easily available. It is very, very rare. That is what Krishna says in this sloka. बहुनाम जन्मनाम अन्ते ज्ञानवान माम प्रपद्यते वासुदेवः सर्वमिति स महात्मा सुदुर्लभः. Okay, bahunam, after many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me. It is not easy to surrender to Krishna because we have a lot of ego, we have like a lot of distraction in this material world. So Krishna says it is not very easy to surrender to him. After many births, we don't know, like a millions and billions of birth and death, he who is actually in knowledge, it is not about our material knowledge. Okay, I may be a PhD holder, double MA holder, double PhD holder, but if I am not surrendering to Krishna, if I don't know, like, hey, what is my purpose of life, what is my existence of life, then I am zero in the knowledge. One who is having the devotional knowledge, he only can surrender to Krishna, knowing me to be the cause of all causes. Krishna is the cause of all causes. This someone already highlighted. Okay, who highlighted? In which stuti? Cause of all causes. Brahma. Brahma glorifying Krishna. Yeah, in the Brahma Samhita, Ishwaraha Paramaha Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Sarva Karana. Karana means like a cause. Sarva Karana, cause of all causes. That is what Krishna is. And all that is. Such a great soul is very, very, very rare. It is not easy. Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyade. Prapadyade means surrender. Okay. Vasudevaha Sarvamidhi. Vasudevaha Sarvamidhi. Vasudeva, Krishna is everything. Okay. So that has to be understood. Then Sa Mahatma Sudurlabhaha. Such Mahatma is very, very rare. Any comment on this purport or like this sloka? We have to be very cautious about it. Okay, I am very fortunate to get the devotion service, but at the same time, we have to preserve it, we have to nurture it, we have to protect it. That is very important. Yes, only 1 second or one moment needed, like to fall from a great position to very lowest of the position. You have seen in the life of Ajamila, in the life of like a Kaikeyi, in the life of who else? Many many places like we have seen. Only one moment, Vishwamitra Muni, like only one moment needed for them to fall from a greatest position. But at the same time, only one moment is needed to change into a devotee form also. How the Bilvamangala Thakur, like been been changed from from the prostitute's message, correct? Bilvamangala Thakur. So we have to understand and do the devotion service all the time. Bakunam Janmanamante, Jnanavan Mam Prapatyade, Vasudevaka Sarvamidi, Samahatma Sudurlabaha. It is very, very Durlabha. It is not Durlabha, it is very, very Durlabha, very rare. Okay. So let's move to the next sloka, 20th sloka. Kamaistar Hritanyanah Prapadyante Anyadevadaha Tam Tam Niyamamastaya Prakritya Niyataha Swaya. Here, Hritanyana is very important. Okay. Hritanyana means deprived of knowledge. Jnana means like a jnani, knowledge. Hrita means like a deprived. One who doesn't have the knowledge. That is what he says here. Those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own nature. So demigod worship been condemned in this particular form of the Lord. Why and how? Demigod we should not worship to get the material benefit. We can pray to demigod just to get the mercy of Krishna, because demigods are directly serving the Lord, correct? All the demigods, for example, you take Ganpati, okay, because Ganpati is very famous now. Like we celebrated Ganesh Chaturthi. So Ganpati is in the direct service of the Lord. Who wrote Mahabharata?
Ganeshji.
Ganeshji, because Vyasadeva was reciting and Ganeshji has to understand and he has to write. Okay, it is not simply writing. He has to understand how difficult it would be, because Vyasadeva speaking like a on a very he was like a speaking in a very fluent and like okay fast manner, but Ganeshji has to understand and like a write. He was doing that very perfectly. So that is how he engaged himself in the service of the Lord. So we also need to seek the blessings of Ganeshji, like a please grant me the boon, please give me the blessing so that I can understand Srimad Bhagavad Gita, as you understood like a from the lips of Vyasadev. So this is what the blessing we have request, like okay, from all the demigods. Any demigod, like okay, we have to seek that blessing. But unlike okay, we should not ask that temporary material benefits from the demigods. That is what been condemned here. Those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations. For example, okay, Ganesh ji is called as like a Vigna Vinayaka, correct? So he will remove the problem or like he will create the problem. For example, like a Lakshmi Devi is like okay, the treasure hunt. She will give the wealth. But Lakshmi Devi like will give the wealth to whom? Who prays to Krishna, to Vishnu. Okay. Because Lakshmi Devi doesn't separate like from his from her husband, who is Vishnu ji. Many persons like doesn't need Vishnu, but like they want the Lakshmi Devi only. That may not work out. Similar thing, Saraswati, like we are asking the who is the department head of like the education. So to Lakshmi, you can ask the education or like you can ask her to remove the problem. So they have been allocated a certain department, but many a times like we want the temporary material benefit, and they will ask, okay, I will just pray to Ganesh ji like so that my problems will be relieved. I will pray to Lakshmi like so that my uh, wealth will be increased. Like that is not what we have to pray to the demigods. Demigods, like we need to pray to seek the blessings of the Lord, how they are able to serve the Lord in face to face. The similar manner, we also need to get the mercy of the Lord. So that is what we need to seek from all these demigods, Anya Devata. So now the Zoom will disconnect. Please rejoin. We will continue for another 15 minutes and we will end the class. Okay, Hare Krishna. Please rejoin. So those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desire, surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures. We should not worship the demigod according to our own nature. We need to pray to Lord. Even in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it says, Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradihi tivrena bhakti yohena yajeta purusham param. Even less intelligent people, akamaha, there is no kama, or sarva kama, I need all the kama. Okay. Moksha kama, even liberation. Everything has to do the devotion service to the param. Yajeta purusham param. They have to do that bhakti yoga only. That is what been said by Lord in this sloka. So we have seen in the last sloka, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Ma Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamidhi Samahatmaga Surdurlavaha. Then we have seen the less intelligent people only will surrender to the demigod and will seek their rules and regulations and will seek the temporary material benefit which is condemned, which is not suggested. Okay, the next sloka. Yo yo yam yam tanum bhaktaha Shraddhayarchitam ichchati Tashya tasya chalam shraddham Tameva vidadamyaham. Lord says, I am in everyone's heart as a super soul.
ಸಾಧನ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಏನಿಗೆ
How
ಸಾಧನ
how the Lord is present in everyone's heart? In which form?
Prabhu Kshirodakshai Vishnu.
Very good, Prabhu. Kshirodakshai Vishnu. I am in everyone's heart as a super soul. As soon as one desire to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. See how glorious Krishna is, how magnanimous a Krishna is in the heart. Okay, even see, for example, how to say this one. Okay, someone again, I may need to take the reference of Modi ji. Okay, Modi is great personality of the human being, correct? We are able to reach Modi, okay, but at the same time we are able to reach in his office some office boy. Okay, we say I trust this office boy more than Modi, so let me go to the office boy. Modi ji approves that, okay, go and at least connect with him and do some work. That is what Krishna does it here. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. If someone just surrendering to demigod, okay, who is reporting to supreme God, Krishna make them steady. Okay, at least you are doing something. You go on surrender to that demigod. He make his faith steady and so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. Krishna doesn't reject them or doesn't say, oh boy, what are you doing? I am higher than them. I can do better things for you. Please come to me. He doesn't self-market. He doesn't reject that devotee. He says, at least you are doing some devotional service. I will take that and you go and surrender to the demigod. That is the magnanimous attitude of Krishna. Many times we will not be able to accept it or we will not able to approve it, correct? We will say, what are you doing? You are foolish. I may not accept you. You go and seek the things from whomsoever you are asking. But Krishna doesn't say in that manner. He accept that and he just ask them to do some devotional service. The next sloka. Sataya Shraddaya Yuktas Tasyaradhanam Ihate Labate cha Tata Kaman Mayaiva Hitan. Labate means obtains. Okay, we already seen multiple places. Labate obtains. Endowed with such great faith, such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desire. But in actually, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. Krishna says, okay, I am just ignoring Krishna and going to the demigod and asking like some benefit, and that I am getting that benefit also. I am thinking, okay, that demigod given me that benefit, but actually it has been given by the Supreme Lord Krishna himself. Okay, uh, but in actually these benefits are bestowed by me alone. Like that is what Krishna says. But many times we think, okay, this has been given by so and so demigod. I will increase my faith and I will do more devotional service to that particular demigod. That is how we are seeking for the temporary material benefits and we are getting stuck there. The Veda says, okay, it is better than uh, you pray to some demigod, it is better than like a not praying to anyone. But higher than that, you pray to the Supreme because you will get anything and everything. But we get stuck in that particular statement itself. We are not going above that statement. That is how like the demigod worship been predominant like in this material world, and many people, many fake sannyasis are misusing that as well. Okay, so that is what like Krishna condemn here, but he just like okay give the acceptance as well. He doesn't reject them. He says, okay, demigod worship is not suggested for a full knowledge person. If someone does the demigod worship also, I doesn't reject them. I give them the confidence. Okay, so at least like they can do something, and but at the same time, like all these things been given by me only. That is what Krishna says. The next sloka, Antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavati alpamedasham devan devayajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi alpamedasham. Okay, of small intelligence. Like someone thinks that I am very big intelligent guy, but he is actually a very small intelligent guy. Okay, so antavattu phalam tesham. Men of small intelligence worship the demigod, and their fruits are limited and temporary. Demigod worship, whatever we are obtaining, it would be temporary and it would be material. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods. But my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet, which is none other than Goloka Vrindavan. So, how many of us wants to go to Goloka Vrindavan, or how many wants to of us want to get stuck in like in the demigod worship and like demigod planets? Any thought, any questions? Please, like feel free to ask here.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Manji.
Very nice explanation. Very nicely in a simple form you explained the difference of demigods and their duties and what Krishna is. Actually, this is something which in Sanatan Dharma needs to understand that what is the role of demigods and what is the role of Krishna. That's where we all are stuck. I mean, once we are in the Krishna consciousness, then we understand the difference,
Yeah,
and that's when we try to chant and to come near to Krishna. But those who are not in Krishna consciousness, let's we can just pray for them to understand this fact.
exactly, Mataji. Yeah, that is correct. Yeah. So we don't need to Krishna says that also, like in the upcoming slokas, we should not disencourage them. Like, okay, we need to encourage them at least, like if they are doing something, but one point or the other, like at one point in time, they will realize Krishna, because demigods also don't want like anyone to pray to them for material benefits. They will also pray to Krishna, please, like take this devotee because he is surrendered to me, and I don't want like his confidence to go in vain. So please give them the opportunity so that like he can come to the to your worship. So demigod also will direct them which is the right devotional service. So it may take little
And that's
time.
what we should ask. That's what we should ask to
Yeah, correct.
demigods to get the Krishna.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At the same time, we should never disrespect the demigod or demigod worshippers. That is very, very important. We can't, okay, I am a Krishna devotee. I should not encourage like a demigod worship. But Krishna himself accepted. Okay, one point or the other, like they will come to the platform of like a understanding about Krishna. So they may take like a little more time, but it will happen because Krishna himself said, and all the demigods like will do that as well. So we shouldn't disencourage them. We should like just pray for them, and they'll leave the rest to Krishna. Okay, he will take care of it. First, let us protect and let us grow. Let us nurture our bhakti. Then we can think about others. That is very, very important, because
correct.
many a times we are very easy to comment about others, and we will get into like the aparada and other sinful activities like which we need to completely avoid it. So this is a very, very delicate topic. Like a demigod worship is very, very delicate topic, especially to the Bharat Bhumi whomsoever like a Warren. But we have seen that from the very early young age, correct? Like if our fathers have done it, like our forefathers have done it, so it would be very tough to break something like which has been followed from the childhood days. So we have to handle it very, very delicately. Like, and time will heal, and the time will tell. Like, okay, and the time will guide us how to surrender to Krishna slowly and gradually. One or the other way, it will happen. If not in this life, maybe in next life or like a next to next, etc. But that will happen. That is what the assurance Krishna gives. We shouldn't disencourage them as well. Okay. Any other realization or query or any comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I actually missed the first part of it, so my question was like a clarification about demigod. But once you share the recording, I think I'll just go through that.
Yeah, but it is very, very simple. See, demigods are representative of Lord. They been given a certain task to perform. For example, Ganesh ji like been given to either remove the problem or like to give the problem. Okay, so that the devotee comes to the platform of understanding Krishna. The similar manner, Lakshmi ji been given like to take care of the wealth. But Lakshmi ji will give the wealth only to the one who surrenders to Lord Vishnu or like a Krishna. Then
Okay.
Saraswati been given like for the education. We can't go and ask Saraswati like for the wealth or like to remove the problem. The other way around also, vice versa. So they've been given a certain task to perform. So while we pray to demigod, we shouldn't ask for this temporary material benefits. We need to ask how they are able to serve the Lord directly. The similar manner, please engage them also, engage us also in devotional service. Okay, how Ganesh ji like engaged himself in writing Mahabharata, correct? While Vyasadeva was reciting, Ganesh ji has to understand and he has to write. So that is what we have seen, like a demigod worship is not, it is like, okay, Krishna says, initially he says, only less intelligent people will go to the demigod worship. Okay, then he says, okay, demigod worship, whomsoever like having the trust and doing the demigod worship, I don't reject them. I give them the confidence, like so that at least they can do something. It is better than not praying to anyone, correct? Better than the atheist also. So I give them like a slowly and gradually they will come to the understanding. Even the demigod also like he will pray for that particular devotee so that they can realize Krishna, who Krishna is. That is a main important aspect. Like that is what we are seeing, knowledge of the absolute. Why we need to pray to Krishna? How Krishna is the called as supreme personality of Godhead? Because he is the sole proprietor. Like okay, he is the owner of all the material and the spiritual world, and he controls everything, he creates everything, he destroys everything. Okay, so that is the reason when we have the possibility of going and reaching the top of the top owner of the company, why we need to like okay go and approach the office boy or like a some department head, for example finance department or like a the HR department or like okay IT department. So if I go and approach IT department head, he will talk only about IT. It is as good as like the Ganesh or the Lakshmi Devi or Saraswati Devi, which we have seen. Going and approaching IT head or IT department, I can't ask finance like, what is my financial ledger, like, okay, what is my profit, etc. I can't ask, correct? Because they don't have any details about it. It doesn't mean that okay they cannot do, but they came here for a particular purpose and they are executing that. The similar manner like going and asking finance guy how my IT structure is like okay done and how my connectivity is done, he will not have the clue. The similar manner we need to approach the Lord who knows everything, like who's the owner of everything. That is what been said. That is the reason like to hear about this knowledge of the absolute, about the glories of Krishna. Then only we can love him more, we can pray to him, we can do the more devotion service. Okay, Mamji? Yeah. So we have seen like a 20 to 23. Others who have knowledge, little no knowledge, those who surrender to demigod, and those who are impersonalist, which we have seen like a now, surrender to demigods. Those whose intelligence is illusioned surrender, but to demigods, getting their temporary rewards, they go back to the planets of the demigod. But Krishna's devotee go to the eternal planet, like okay, the Goloka. This is what we have seen. So this slide will help you to understand why demigod worship is condemned. Because Krishna makes faith steady, required by a living entity to worship demigod. Lack of knowledge about Krishna. That knowledge only been taught in this chapter, this 7th chapter. The name of the chapter is Knowledge of the Absolute. Absolute. Who is Absolute? Krishna. Because Krishna holds everything. He is the cause of all causes. Krishna bestows benefits through the demigods to living entity. Krishna is the source of everything. Base of choice of worship, different modes and nature. If someone worship demigod, his intelligence is stolen by material desires and he needs like a temporary benefit. Okay, that is what the demigod worship. And demigod worship, if you are doing like it will keep us in the material world a place of misery. So people whose less intelligence is stolen by material desires often surrender to demigod. That is what we have seen. Like devotees, they will always think like Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. That is the reality. But the demigod worship, like they have lost the spiritual sense. They want temporal material benefits. Okay, they will do the transactional basis. Okay, if I do this one, if I do like okay this puja, I will get the baby. Okay, if I do this puja, like my issues will be resolved. If I do this puja, Lakshmi puja, like I will get more wealth. That is how like they will be looking for the temporary material benefit, which is condemned in the Vedas, in the Shastras. Because we should never do the transactional basis, even to the demigod also. Okay. So this is a difference between like the devotee and one who prays to demigod. Then Krishna supplies faith offered by the worshipper. Even someone prays to the demigod, like he doesn't disencourage them. He given them the faith so that slowly, like they will be able to understand who Krishna is, and they will be able to surrender to Lord. Okay, because the living entity got minute independence, they approach demigods for different material needs. Sun god for health, Saraswati for education, that we have seen, correct? Like, and who else? Uma for like a beautiful wife. So likewise, like they uh, they approach each demigod for a certain benefit, temporary material benefit. But the super soul, like does not give such facilities. There is no meaning of independence. Like so, independence being given to us, like a Lord doesn't interfere in that independence. Because of that independence, like we are able to get distracted, like in many and many places. Okay. So here analogy given, even a blade of grass cannot move without the will of the Lord. Even though we think, okay, demigod fulfilling my temporary material benefit, but it has been fulfilled by the Lord only, by the Supreme Lord Krishna only, because Krishna sanctions everything, and not even a blade of grass will not move without the will of Krishna. Then this is what like the thing, fulfilling material desires by worshipping various demigods. Okay, Indra for powerful sex, like a Vasus for money, Surya Dev for health, like a Durga Devi for good fortune, Uma Devi for like a good material relation, marital relation, like a moon for sense gratification, fire for very powerful, etc., etc. Likewise, like a this been endless, like a for, because how many demigods are there? 33 crore demigods, correct? But Lord Krishna, nothing of material enjoyment, only the spiritual desire. So in the 22nd sloka, we are seeing Krishna bestows benefits through demigods to the living entity. Krishna doesn't reject them, doesn't disencourage them. He gives like a even whatever they seek, so that slowly they will be able to come, and demigods will pray for that devotee to Krishna as well. Okay, worship of Supreme Lord, it is spiritual, but demigod worship is material, because demigods cannot give benediction without the permission of the Supreme Lord. Living entities may forget that everything is the proprietary of the Supreme Lord. Demigods do not forget. Okay, so the reason demigods will pray for that devotee to Krishna, so that Krishna will give them the opportunity to understand and do the devotional service more. Here, attitude of pure devotees and reciprocation of the Lord with pure devotees also been referred. They will not ask for any material benefit, but only spiritual benefit, spiritual desires. Results of worshipping demigods, only perishable results of and not of the eternal. When someone prays to Krishna, like they will go to the Goloka. But if demigod worshippers, like a perishable benefit, because they will be in the material world only. But Supreme Lord, it would be eternal benefit, because he will take us away from this cycle of birth, death, old age and disease, correct? This is what been said till now. Demigod worshipper, what is nature, mentality, action, all these things been explained, like the result. Okay, so I think we should end the class here. Any queries or any doubt? Hare Krishna.
No, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So again, like tomorrow is the Radhastami. Please pray to Srimati Radharani to get more blessing, to do more devotion service, so that we get the chance to get the mercy of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Have a wonderful weekend and a week ahead. Hare Krishna. Thanks all for joining.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.